Good morning and welcome to Queening with the Empress. Thank you so much for stepping into my queendom. I am your host, Patience Pet Phiri. On this week's episode, we want to talk about exciting things. We want to talk about how sexual orientation and sexual history is used to insult, humiliate, and shame people in positions of power. We have seen over a period of time. In 95, Margaret Bongo said something that started a fight because she said to a group of proud and grown men, they were Robert Mugabe's wives, and that touched many people, and they were triggered. And we've gone on to see uh, the head of our election commission being called all manner of names when the elections came out in 2018. We ended up knowing what was happening in her bedroom. The former First Lady also spoke about the then Vice President, about what she did behind the scenes. I could go on and on. We have seen tiny Me Too movement t-shirts being done because a lady that was leading Thokozani Kupe, when she went to court, and she had groups of people outside and they were chanting the name Ure, Ure, Ure. So that became a thing, and it seems to be an insult that pops up every now and then. Ure, for those that don't know, is a Shona word for a prostitute. So today we want to talk about how, as we rise up, especially for women, as we rise up, we are reminded of our place when our sexual history is brought into play. Does that mean as women we should not have a sexual past? We should not have a sexual life? We should be like Mother Teresa? I don't know. And what does that do as a society? What is it that draws us to do this ugliness, to bring people down so much? So I figured it's a great conversation to have, and who better to have it than those that have the know-how of all these things? And I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I have with me in my queendom today Thembelihle Sibanda, who's here, and she's from Women's Coalition of Zimbabwe, in Zimbabwe. And then I have the one, the only, the one, the only Nozipho Zypo Moyo. She's from Africa, Kiburi. And we're going to talk about all these things. And welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peshi.
So I've spoken about all these things, and because of your activity in these circles, and you know these things, when you see that headline, Ikala, last week we saw the headline, Thokozani Kupe recalls ex-lover. Like, what goes through your mind? Ngiyaqala nawe, Thembi. Buyini? Like, what do you like? Guys,
She recalls the ex-lover, so what? Doesn't she have a private life?
okay.
That stays within her privacy. Despite the fact that she once had something with that person, doesn't change the fact that she's now a leader and she has the right to recall. Whether she recalls a daughter or a son or whoever, but the point of recalling, what matters is why is she recalling those people? To recall, that's not an importance.
Lokuthi umuntu wakho nakaselabizo.
Hayi, kati vele kulo muntu okuthiwa ngu-ex-lover.
Zypo, what's your take?
Well, I feel it's really childish for the media to put it that way, but of course we know there's certain papers. Ex-lover, I love you. But it really means for us as a society that kumele sisebenzisa ama-productive lens to define bedroom issues versus bedroom issues. Do we know Thokozani Kupe as Bev, who's known for stripping, or she's a political leader? So when we're looking at her, can we have ama-lens Simkhangela as a leader leading a party, not what she does in her bedroom? So it's very unfortunate that with women who try to compete and get a seat in the boardroom, bedroom issues always have to come up.
Maybe for starters, Thokozani Kupe is a woman. She has feelings.
Mm.
She has every right to date whoever she feels like dating because she's a human being. Kaso ingani nyamazana la iba le boyfriend. Awazibona indawo zisika zibangelana. I mean, why do we have to be told about things that we know that as human beings we do?
Are normal.
Yeah. We are talking about her as a leader here, making broad decisions on who to recall. Why so particular about who she's recalling?
It's true. Ngiyavumelana lawe system. We should put a line. Yeah.
So we seem to cross from bedroom politics to boardroom, back to boardroom. That line, how do we get there? Who decides that the line is crossed? Because when all these things happen, asizwa ukuthi obaba ngale benzani. Does that also mean ukuthi obaba bona bayamsulwa, they have nothing, or it only applies to women?
Being a political activist for a long period, I would like to be honest with you, talking from experience. I see baba vote. You find ukuthi as Thembi is Thembi. There is a page that doesn't like the Thembi, being Thembi and her political background. So ukuthi degrade or humiliate. That person's got that power. Ukuthi abadale these social media people. It's a pity because it's something that happens. Instead of looking at the good things that I do, they want to pick up the slight mistakes that I make. And they want to dip into my private life and expose it because they believe, you know, what is done in the bedroom is private. That's why you close doors and close curtains. It's for the people that are in there. But ungakubona sokuphumela phandle, there is someone ongakufuniyo kuyenzakale khonokya. You understand? So sesakuthatha njengokuthi thina as women culturally and hierarchy ukuthi omama vele bedroom siyanjani? We respect it so much. So ngingagazi ku-empty dirty linen mina ngicina ngingaselazo isibindi sokuthi ngime phambi kwabantu because people will be looking at me as alwana.
Okay.
But I believe being a leader, you just have to overcome all this. You just have to be prepared and be ready because there's no publicity that is bad publicity.
Zypo?
Yeah, I'd like to pick up from her system where she's highlighting the issue that it's not just about men, it's also about women. And to me, I would just want to highlight the issue of let's learn to separate the problem from the person. It's not about the individuals, but the systems that are engraved in people's mentality for them to behave in such a manner. Patriarchy looks at women as subjects. And that is why feminism is coming to say women are people. So when you're talking about patriarchy, women can be custodians of that system. So when someone has is so much into patriarchy, they see women as subjects, and the subject is like a slave. And women have been culturally and through that system, women over history have proved to be mothers. They've proved to be very good in their reproductive roles. And it's rare, and that is why women are still trying to break the trends, because it's rare to see accomplished, outstanding women. Therefore, you try to use their strength and weakness to actually push an agenda. So, system, what can you say that people take the fact that it's a bedroom issue in Bogotio. So if that dignity is taken away from you, usala you are not like naked, and it's their hope to water you down. So to me, it's a system. It's not about individuals. A system that is, and the custodians are the women. The custodians are the judiciary, legal. The custodians are the media. The custodians are actually even religious people who they would only see a woman being recognized because umamfundisi. Literally, the pastor is sexually transmitted the position for you to be acknowledged in church.
So that, but then that still comes down to sex.
Yes.
Because somehow it seems that we are valued on a sexual, and does that not just make us sexual beings?
Yes, as I said, women are subjects.
Yeah.
So a patriarchy system says women are subjects. So that is why we say it's news for a woman to be outstanding. It was news that Uma Kupe actually stood against the biggest opposition. So that's news. And when it's news and we're watering it down, we use sex, sexuality, her history and her orientation to bring it to the limelight so that she goes to the drug room, hopefully.
Okay. And not just speaking about her, because she's not the only woman. And you're saying that in your history, as you've been doing this for a long time, in your activism, you've seen many women come and go. Others manage to stay. Abanye are like, I'm done. But what then happens going forward? Like in the morning when you wake up and that's there. Do you call your family? What do you do? What must happen?
Honestly speaking, that's my makeover.
Okay.
My daily makeover, because there's always a story when Thembi does something good today and it's publicized. There's always a story behind it. Somebody will want to pull it down. Not women only, but men also would want to pull it down. She's becoming a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
In the political arena, if you have that inhliziyo yokuthi kuthiwa ngiyafa, vele kuthi uyahlupheka.
Okay.
You just have to soldier on, and like I'll tell you, ngisebenze kakhulu with former Vice President uJoyce Mjulu. A lot has been said about her.
A lot. We know a lot about her. I've never met her, but I know so much about her.
A lot has been said about her, and a lot is being said about her right now. But where are the facts? Where are the facts? I've just developed that character. Yes, then what?
Okay.
Yes. If Thembi is a stripper, yes, she's a stripper, so what? How does it affect you? How does my being a stripper affect you? How does my sexual life affect you if I didn't sleep with your husband? And for starters, even if I slept with your husband, it's your husband who found me attractive and I found him attractive.
Yeah.
It's a consent of two adults. Mm-hmm. Then why does it have to go public? Because if we wanted the public to know, we could have called the press to come and witness us having sex. Thank you. The fact that is when then somebody decides to steal the secrecy. The reason why we hide it is because there was but given reasons, we are going to there are repercussions you have to face them. Yeah, then what?
Okay. We'll take a short break. Join us in a few seconds and we will be back with Thembi and Zypo talking about how sexual history and orientation is used to shame and insult people in power. With the Empress, with me, still your host, Patience Phiri. I am here today with Thembi from Women's Coalition in Zimbabwe and Zypo from Africa Kiburi. And we're talking about how sex is used to insult and shame people in power, especially women in politics. So during the break, Thembi, you were saying something about this being interesting. Can you please continue so that everybody can hear it?
I'm saying it's an interesting topic because honestly speaking, who is not sexually active? Mm-hmm. So why, when you're a female activist, a feminist, like I'm saying, a realistic feminist, I do have sex like any person. I'm a normal human being. So why should my day-to-day life be a problem to someone else? Why should it pull me down from focusing on what I want to do as a leader, as a female activist? It's as good as, personally, I've rated sex as eating my pap every day. If I'm to have sex on a daily basis, it's as good as in this trial every day or in porridge. So, if I'm having sex, it's me who's enjoying. It's got nothing to do with anyone. But
That's when, yeah.
Asizabusana.
Umngani wakho. Lakho bese kudependa ukuthi umngani wakho ufike njani endlini yami. Because awuphomba uziletha anti kule ndlela kulamaninzi ukuthi ufike ngawo. And mina as a female activist I believe ukuthi sibe siloke sideprive nge-sexual life yethu angokwakudala lokho. We've gone past that stage. We are human beings, we have feelings, we have sex, so what?
That's interesting because I want to ask Uguti, because of this way that we have put sex and sexual orientation and sexual history, all these things, do you think as a country we will ever have honest conversations about sex and sexuality, considering that we also have HIV and AIDS, considering that we are still in talks, I hope in talks, about looking at our constitution and looking at same-sex relationships, considering that we also have the issue of abortion that we choose not to want to hear, but it's something that we need to think about. But if this is what we already think about sex and how people have sex, how does it then affect our honest conversations going forward?
From my own opinion, I don't think it has to affect our conversations in any how. Because, like I said, sex is a reality. It's something that has been there. We're born and we're given feelings by whoever created us, from our different religions on how we came to this world. But at the end of the day, we are here. We have those feelings, right? So it's sexy, like I said before. Akube yi-makeover yethu. Hanti into esiyenzayo. Nxa omunye umuntu ezedecide ukuthi ekhulume ngayo eyami mina ngamtshelanga. It's fine, so be it. Then what? If I am a true leader, I should not lose my focus because I'm sexually active. It shows I'm a human being. A human being is sexually active. Do you know, mina I would want to believe ukuthi kufanana lo mama ongazaliyo when efike emendweni. This is how politicians want to rate it. Ukuthi because ulele lo bani now Thokozani Kupe is recalling ex-lover. The good part is ex-lover. Yes, the relationship yaphela phela. They are actually saying ukuthi it's an ex, kuthi yaphela phela, it's no longer there. So kuthi Thokozani Kupe, now that she's got the powers as a leader, she should sympathize with her ex-lover because this ex-lover is doing wrong things. Because ngubaba umntanami, I should sympathize with him at the cost of the nation. No.
Sasa kube
kungumntanami futhi. So kungazanto into ye-family. So when I personally believe ukuthi as a human being, as a woman, Thokozani Kupe stand is the way to go as a woman. Whether it's your daughter or it's your ex-lover or it's your aunt or it's your in-law, when you are supposed to make a decision as a leader and as a woman, stand and be bold by it. I was part of the #MeToo campaign. Unfortunately, when I was doing the I'm a dissident in Me Too, when she was called a dissident woman, yes. I was part of the dissident. I still have the T-shirt and Me Too. That campaign came when we were campaigning for the sisters. You insult one, you insult all. Looking at the population, we are 54% women. Why are we not rallying behind each other? Why are we not looking at the good things that the other sister is doing? Why focusing on the bad? Why wanting to publicize the bad? Why not publicizing that good thing? Why not sugarcoating that bad and making it nicer for another woman's upliftment?
Zypo, why are we not supporting each other?
As I stated earlier on, people are products of the system. Until we deal with the mental issues, can we actually influence their behaviors and attitudes and their mental way of addressing it? But to me, I really feel we need to question where we're from, where we are, and where we want to go. And where we are now, we need to decide. In activism, we call it is it activism, where it's a bit radical, where it's passiveness. And I feel it's great that we've got individuals like Usis Thembi. You know, at times when someone says, insults you or says shit, instead of defending and explaining why you're not shit, at times you own it. The same way they said, wure. And then you're like, yeah, ngili wule. So what? There was nothing else that was left to say. So as women, just know the moment you're getting into public office, your life becomes public. It becomes public. It's for public consumption. But your attention should be at your key result areas. You're in public office because you're delivering public services and all. You as a woman should mark yourself there. The rest, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So women now should not be apologetic. Whether people believe it or not, so what? Does it affect what you're doing? So, yes, it's okay. Because you bring issues that are important. You bring issues of abortion. There's nothing new about abortion. It has been there. You talk about issues of same-sex relationships, issues of homosexuality. Yes, we have had these things through social media where we have had people in public office and even religious individuals, pastors, meaning it has nothing to do with where you're placed in society. These things are realities. But as I'm saying, all these things should be marked according to how you're achieving your commitment to the public office. I feel people should just own up to these things because these are uncomfortable conversations. Just own them, and specifically for women. Don't ever feel ridiculed when people throw sexuality into history past you. Fine, you were a stripper. That was that more reason for you to get into politics? Great. So stripping actually does work. Move on and deliver what you promised to do.
It was a platform for you to get to where
Yes, to grow. And anyway, we're talking about the right to be forgotten. If I am denouncing it as an individual, I've left that. So what? Let me focus on what matters is now and what I'm achieving. That's it.
Speaking about the right to be forgotten, I know we attended, there's a whole lot of talk about the data bill and the cyber security, all these things. And that's one thing that was raised, and that is of great interest. I think it comes in here because all these stories that are created, some are created, are not true, are not factual. And they stay, we talk about digital footprint, lasting forever. Do you think the new bill, if it is passed into an act, will assist women, mostly women, I'm focusing on women, will assist with this right to be forgotten on some of these issues?
So yes, when we look at the cyber security and data protection bill, which currently is causing waves, let's acknowledge that a lot of information dissemination is through the digital media, through technologies. So when all these and whatever insults have been on social media, so it's a great initiative that the government is doing, but it's not a perfect bill. We need to look at recommendations. Firstly, the right to be forgotten. The right to be forgotten is when, remember, someone has the right to identity. So if today you wake up, prophet, after you were a drunkard or or something like that, and you feel publicly, I don't want that information to be out. It's your right. And when I want to run for president, I have the right to be forgotten. With 4 different women, my girlfriend. Everyone has got that past that they don't want to embrace. So the right to be forgotten is more like a second chance where you are redefining yourself, which is a right. So the bill has to put that. And again, we should look at the issue of data retention. Data retention is, we're saying, you went esibhedlela kwafika kwabhala ku-medical history yakho ukuthi ulesiye. People assume the moment you start having a sexually transmitted disease, you're promiscuous. You're promiscuous. No one knows, maybe you're a victim or it was just a threat from, So what we're saying now, data retention, for how long does the data authority, commission, whatever, keep that? Because you don't want So the bill has to talk about issues of data retention. It passes the period for how long that has. And lastly, the issues on whistleblowing. Whistleblowing is not only on corrupt individuals whereby you wake up and you say, oh, we have discovered who took the 15 billion in Zimbabwe or who's corrupt. Whistleblowing is actually who's the author who wrote that story that broke you down. What people don't understand, these harmful things that women get, it's difficult being a woman. by virtue of being a woman, you have reproductive roles. There's a time when the body evolves. You've got a baby, you've got hormones, you have emotions. Right now you're living your family, you're trying to run for public office, and the men are calling meetings at 8, you're fighting what you believe in the political arena. Then in Kaya, you've got water to collect, you focus on, and no one understands all that. And then when you go to City WhatsApp, you discover there's all this nonsense all over, and people do not understand mental health. If you look at the number of suicides that is actually happening, it's people who are just failing to be kind to one another. It's people that are doxing, harassing each other, and the more victims are the women. Already being a woman, it's a job. On your CV, being a woman is a job. So I feel people need to chill. To really chill.
Okay. Tell me, do you think we'll see more women participating in 2023 in light of what happened in 2018? I feel in 2018 we really showed that if we put our minds to it, we are an ugly people, we are broken people. So do you think when we look back, 2023, women will come up and step up and say, you know what, we are forging a new front?
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
There are so many Thembis who are coming up. There are so many Margaret Dongos who are coming up. There are so many Togozane Kupis, so many Priscilla Misia Irambis. Because at the end of the day, it's how we mentor these young girls when they grow up. It's what we teach them, how we embrace them to be ready. It's as good as Ngamunte Sia Winda. And you could So the good part is the people that we're mentoring now, they're a very intelligent generation. They ask so many questions to an extent that they ask those questions that they leave you feeling uncomfortable. Am I ready to answer this question or not? I mean, I've got a 14-year-old daughter. At one point, she would come to me and say, I want to ask you something, but maybe you'll feel uncomfortable, but I need an answer. That doesn't stop her from wanting to get that answer. Even if I'm not comfortable with it, I have to make it a point that I give her an answer so that she understands. Hence, if I don't give her that answer, she will go and seek for that answer from someone who's going to mislead her. So I personally see a lot of women going into the 2023, and the issue is embracing yourself, being prepared, being ready. The readiness is what we are fighting for. Look at the looks of Olinda Masarira. She's been labeled names from the time she was arrested as an activist. Akashata, Chidakwa, Chichi. Has it killed Linda?
She has 5 children.
Has she killed Linda? It hasn't killed her. Who is she now? She has actually noticed, but no, I am better off than what they are saying. What they are telling me is actually, Linda, pull up your socks. You can do better than what you are doing. Hence, she has opened up her political party. Now she is a president of a political party. Who ever thought Linda would become a leader of a political party? No one. With her own ideologies and seeing what, no, we are living in this generation, we need economic development in Africa and so on. She has brought up her own political party. And she has inspired a lot of young girls down there. Despite the fact, and Linda can tell you, I mean, I know I'm ugly, then what?
Yeah, Kashata.
So we need to go back to what Zypo was saying. You need to own those insults. If you want to be a true feminist, a realistic feminist, you should own those insults. Own them and leave them with no space of debate.
Because the idea is to argue, and then that aids the fuel.
When you argue, that's when they misquote you in the argument.
Vele, they say never argue with the pig in the mud, because it's gonna beat you the experience. So if you use that argument, why and so that it was a Christmas party, already you have brought yourself down to that level. So own it up. Oh yeah, I'm a woman, I drink. Yes, I have 4 boyfriends. Yes, I'm ugly. What else is there?
It's by choice.
Choice or not, I own it. let's move on. Let's talk about real issues. And guess what? No one can talk about real issues. Because I love the example of Linda. If you really follow her with the ideology as a political party, no one can contest what she's bringing in. She actually writes recommendations even for the government. And what are people contributing besides their ugliness? And how many men she has slept with? Nothing. And that's bullshit.
Wow.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine.
No, recently, maybe if you saw her she was on some interview recently, and they were asking her about this Thokozane Kupe issue, and somebody commented, right? It was like somebody sent a message with Linda, we know you are a ZANU-PF product. Why do you then call Mnangagwa, Vamnangagwa, and then say Chamisa? And then she had to explain it in her cultural way. I'm sorry, I'm not Shona. Ukuthi umuntu omdala in Shona, they call her Uchamisa isize yakhe. So ngeke ethi baba uchamisa. So, you know, we need such leaders. Ukuthi even if you are being attacked, Katesi we interview, had there be messages flowing. Omuyiza uthi uThembi ngahlangana la eShabhini edakiwe, then what? Ansela social life because I'm a leader. Ansela.
But
they don't even take pictures of me going into a church carrying a Bible. No, they don't want those pictures because they don't make news. Even the media, they don't need those pictures. As she said, I think if the fault lies within the media and the judiciary, what we should know where to put a hold on those things.
Okay. This is the line. We are drawing a line.
We should draw a line. This is my professional life. This is my private life.
You wanted to say something?
No, I was saying at the end of the day, to me, it's about the end game. Fine, Linda might not have much following, or like most women and so forth. But this is the thing, you might lose a war, but you don't lose a battle. To me, Linda has inspired Kupe herself, whether she's being termed as if she's a ZANU-PF project by the same opposition members, whether Kupe is ZANU or not. My point is, we now know that there are women in leadership who can challenge things in the Supreme Court and even prove a point to the ruling, to the first opposition. To me, it's not about, is it Chams, is it about Kupe? But to me, it's really about creating the
It's a win for the women.
So, yeah, to me, it's a win. You might lose a war. Fine, people will say Sungwezan or Muyangit, but guess what? There are people like Zypo and other women who are inspired to fight on the battle. Who might have clean, lack of a better word, cleaner slates, but a slate is a slate. So to me, end game, the battle is still there.
Thembi, you're with a women coalition in Zimbabwe, and I want to find out, are there support structures and resources for women in power? And I think in this particular instance, I'll talk about women in politics, that when patients comes forward, I'm not happy with what's happening now. So in 2023, as in, I'm thinking, I want to be there. Are they support structures? Are they resources for you? You're talking about how we're grooming young girls. I'm not so young anymore, but for me to step up and say, guys, this is what I want to do. Are those structures there?